What's up guys, John from ARTV. It's time for a review of the fourth full-length studio album by Canadian singer Justin Bieber. I've never reviewed one of his albums before. I actually did put up a little reaction type video back in 2009 or 10 whenever My World 2.0, his debut full-length, came out, but we're not going to talk about that. That video has been long deleted. Hardcore fans or viewers of ARTV may have seen it, and I'm sorry if you have. Anyways, let's talk about Purpose, the fourth full-length album in his first in about 3.5 years. I believe it was March or so of 2012 whenever Believe dropped, and for some reason I didn't get around to reviewing it. I just thought it was kind of a messy album. I thought that it was better than some of his past releases. I probably up to this point wouldn't rate any Justin Bieber albums higher than about a 2.5, just because yes, he has plenty of talent, but no, he didn't have the songs to back it up. This Usher signee broke into the YouTube scene in like 2007, 2008. I actually knew some people whenever I was first getting into YouTube that really liked him as a singer back when he was like 13, 14 years old, just him and his guitar doing covers of Chris Brown and other stuff on his YouTube channel, and I thought that he had a solid voice. Yes, it was high-pitched and that sort of thing, but the kid hadn't hit puberty yet. So it was just kind of a weird thing seeing him grow up so quickly, so much in the spotlight, lots of pressure on him, and this album, Purpose, deals with a lot of those themes. The pressure to perform, essentially, and tracks like I'll Show You talk about his life basically being a movie for people to watch every single day. All eyes are on him. How is he going to react? Yes, I understand him lashing out a whole lot. Do I agree with his behavior? Absolutely not. He presents himself as kind of an asshole whenever you see him in videos like on trial, or just some of the ways he reacted to like throwing eggs and the driving incidents and that sort of thing. There was a lot of shit that went down between like 2013, 2014, but it seems like he's trying to repair his image at this point. I'm inclined to believe that he's growing up a little bit, and I have to say that this is my favorite and the best Justin Bieber album to date. This album is definitely dance heavy, and you can thank the producers for that. You've got the likes of Skrillex, Diplo, Benny Blanco, a lot of other names attached to this project, a lot of star-studded names. Of course, we've got a lot of guests that come onto these tracks, like Big Sean, who pretty much seems like he does like a feature on everything these days, and some other hot names at the moment, like Halsey. I'm sorry I mispronounced that in my review of her record. Not a huge fan of her, but she comes in on this track, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. We've got, of course, Skrillex and Diplo on Where Are You Now, which was included on their Jack U project, but ended up making it onto the standard edition of Purpose as well. And then we've got Travis Scott, another talked about name, coming in, dropping an 808s and Heartbreak type Kanye-styled verse, almost referencing it seems like, considering there's a song called Amazing on that record, and then Travis Scott actually says it's amazing over kind of an auto-tune type vocal. Thought it was interesting, not the best verse and not exactly the best guest appearances in the world, but when this album really gets interesting is whenever it's focusing on Justin himself. His personality kind of bleeds through, and yes, it's very laid back. There's a lot of chill songs here. It almost seems like he's trying very hard to have this very like laid back guy in the shadows type vibe, because that's how he presents himself in interviews as well, but I think it works for him here. We get a great combo opening up this record. Yes, the opening track on here, Mark My Words, is a little bit slower. It's kind of an introduction to the record. It's only a little over 2 minutes long, but whenever things really start to, like the gears start to grind, we see I'll Show You, What Do You Mean, Sorry, Love Yourself, Company, a group of tracks that are just pretty much stacked back to back to back as hits, and all different styles of music as well. I'll Show You is the first one that caught my attention. I actually watched the music video for that a couple of days before the album actually dropped, and I thought it was interesting. Yes, he was wearing some questionable outfits, but I'm not here to comment on his fashion sense. It's a really cool video, I thought. It seems like he's trying to get away from everything. He's trying to get out of the spotlight, and it sees him just kind of cutting loose, doing everything from running through the hills to jumping in like an ice-cold river or lake, and I don't know, it was just kind of a cool thing. It's something that I would almost want to try myself, and it seems like he's almost coming alive again, and that's cool to see him doing that. The production on this song is slick. I love the way that this song has the build-up, and then the drop on it is just very, very enthralling. It's a super fun listen all throughout. What Do You Mean actually grew on me. I did a track review on it, and I was initially kind of like feeling like, this is something I would have heard at the mall in the 90s, just in the background. It's got this tropical flavored beat going on, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Still, it feels almost a little bit like background music, something I would listen to while I'm surfing around on the web and not giving my full undivided attention to it, but it's grown on me. I don't really care for the lyrics all that much, and that's something that I could say for a lot of this record, but at the same time, I'm not expecting a ton. So whenever he does come through with a line or here or there that actually makes sense, or I thought was actually a little bit more intelligent than normal, I have to give him kudos for that. Now the track Sorry is absolutely fantastic, probably my favorite song on this new LP. It's just one of those songs that incorporates everything from these horns, which no, probably are not actual ones. They sound a little bit more programmed. They do get a little bit more raw on the track Love Yourself, which we'll get to shortly. He has a few vocal moments here that surprised me as well. There's a moment where he just comes in on the pre-chorus, "Is it too late now to say sorry because I'm missing more than just your body?" He actually shows off a little bit more personality. He breaks out of that comfort zone of being just kind of relaxed and mellow, and actually shoots his voice into a different range, so that was definitely something that I appreciated here. The track Company definitely gets 4 on the floor dancey once again, and yes, it may be tried and true lyrically, but at the same time I kind of feel like it works. The track that probably surprised me the most in terms of me liking it was the track with Big Sean called No Pressure. Starts off a little bit slow, might go on for just a little bit long, clocking in at almost 5 minutes long, something I really did not expect on a Bieber record, but at the same time, Big Sean comes in, he's a little bit more interesting than he is about half of the time. Some of his songs are very hit and miss, but he usually seems to drop some pretty hot features. The album does get a little bit bogged down with some slower tracks, but one that definitely took the cake for me in a good way is the song Love Yourself, which just sees Bieber getting his almost Ed Sheeran-esque personality on and putting that on a track, and I feel like it paid off big time here. There's a very short and abrupt guitar that kind of just fades in and out. I saw a lot of videos floating around online that Bieber had posted, like on his Instagram, Vine, and that sort of thing, of him messing around with a guitar, and I feel like this is one of those ones that actually made it onto the record, and it's kind of a sweet track in a way. It's very warm and inviting. Yes, it strips away all of this trap-flavored and tropical-flavored production that we've seen up to this point, and we get more taste of all throughout the record, and I think that it's just kind of a spotlight shining down on Justin Bieber on this track. What can he do? And he actually makes it happen here. I love the lyrical content on this. He says, "My mama don't like you and she likes everyone." Basically talking about a relationship that went south and he realized that he messed up. He's putting the brakes on it, getting out of it now, we're moving on. However, some of the slower tracks just aren't clicking with me. Ones like Life Is Worth Living just feel so boring. Even the track that closes out the standard edition of this record, Purpose, the title track of course, feels like it's got more heart than this one does. I feel like with the track Life Is Worth Living, I've heard it a million times, dime a dozen stuff. Where Are You Now is just so try hard, I think is the phrase that I'm looking for there. It feels like he's trying to like put his heart on his sleeve, and it's like, I know your personality, and I know how you've handled relationships in the past because yes, your life is in the spotlight, and I'm not buying this for 1 second. Skrillex and Diplo's production is just annoying. We've got these screechy, just electronic wubs just kind of going on. Everyone seemed to be hyped up for the collab with Halsey, a duet of sorts on this record, trading verses and teaming up on the chorus and parts, and I just don't feel like they fit that well together. I feel like Halsey in general is pretty bland. If you saw my review of Badlands, I pretty much panned it. I could listen to it, it wasn't awful, but at the same time, it doesn't do anything for me. And then Bieber on this track, I don't know how else to say it other than it feels fake to me. The way he delivers his vocals, especially in the start, it just feels like so abrupt and clunky. The final song I want to talk about is the collab with Travis Scott, a hot up-and-coming rapper. His album Rodeo was pretty well received. Didn't care for it all that much myself. The tracks that I heard from it, at least, I still have yet to get around to the full length. I know, blasphemy. But Bieber teaming up with him over this trap-leaning beat, it just didn't feel that great to me. It felt like he was hopping on the trap bandwagon because that's something that we hear so much of these days and it just kind of irks me. The album's a little bit inconsistent, I'll say that. It starts off strong, but then we get into some questionable moments. There's aspects of songs like Children that I like. Purpose seems okay enough until we get to the speech at the end, which just kind of ruins it for me. I don't know. I'm feeling a 3 on this one, maybe even a light 3.5. What are you guys thinking? Let me know in the comment section down below, and keep in mind that this was all just my opinion of Justin Bieber's fourth studio album, Purpose. So if you heard Purpose by Justin Bieber, sound off in the comment section down below, tastefully and respectfully, with your thoughts. Don't forget to smash the like button on this video to let me know that you enjoyed it. Maybe subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If there's other albums you'd like to see me do in review format, let me know. I might get to it if I can. Thanks so much for watching. You can click right here to go to my second channel, or here to see the last review that I did. Other than that, I'll see you very soon right here on ARTV.